Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus Ring of Honor's Final Battle 2021. Is this the last show that we're going to see from Ring of Honor? Debatable. They claim they're going to be back WrestleMania week with a show, with a retooled and reimagined, whatever. Um, Everybody seemed to think that was talking about this show, that was watching this show, that this was at the very least the end of a certain era of Ring of Honor. And it was certainly treated that way by the wrestling world at large. And I don't see a need to talk about it any differently. That said, I think this is a very significant show. I think it was a very good show. I think it was a very Ring of Honor show. And there were signs of life and signs that the sort of way that Ring of Honor has affected the wrestling world at large and influenced it will continue. And I think a number of the surprises were really cool. And I think that they really went all out to give the show that they really should have given and that people really wanted to see. So let's go over it. Pre-show, you know that it's a big deal when I'm even covering a pre-show, for crying out loud. So we had the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championships, which is one of those things that shows how out of step Ring of Honor was. I mean, to think that they could do a sick whatever. But this was really good. Vincent Bateman and Dutch defeated Moses Khan. O'Shea Edwards, who's really great to see it, defeated Moses Khan and O'Shea Edwards, let me say. So Edwards gets pinned by the sliced bread number 2. And it ends STP's 11-match win streak with the 6-man belts. So it's officially announced that the main event between Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal will be for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Bandito is pulled from the card after testing positive for COVID. I think this is a smart thing to do because now Bandito can lay claim to having never lost the title, come back and wrestle the winner of that match, who was Jonathan Gresham. But he can come back and wrestle, and they can really make this play that Ring of Honor is going to continue. I think it's smart. I think it was a great way to adapt to that. Rocky Romero is doing commentary. Brody King steps in with a proposition. He wants that Romero to join Violence Unlimited for their match tonight to make it an 8-man tag. We had Miranda Alice, Angelina Love, Mandy Leon, taking on Chelsea Green, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell, and that a former team wins. Green really shone here. I think looked the best out of everybody, and Chelsea Green has been on fire on Impact and otherwise lately. So we got Leon hitting a pump handle driver to pin Marty Bell in a match that was very, very good. I'll just say this: all the matches were very good. And some were just great and brilliant. That's how they went out, and that's how you would want Ring of Honor to go out. EC3 is approached by Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, and Eli Isom to join their squad against Violence Unlimited, since they're now going to be a 4-person team with Rocky Romero, so EC3 they're enlisting. And so EC3 is going to fight for honor. Danhausen, great to see him, joins commentary for the wildcard tag match. He arrived from Chicago after trying to convince CM Punk to appear. And he said CM Punk was busy rearranging his dog's bookshelf. Ridiculous. I like... Danhausen is someone you either don't know about, you love, or you just don't get it at all. And I'm definitely in the love category. A wild card 10-man tag match. Brian Milonas, the Beer City Bruiser, world-famous CB, PJ Black, and Flip Gordon defeated the team of LSG, Demonic Flamita, Sledge, Max the Impaler, and Will Ferrara. And it was ridiculous. A Doomsday Canadian Destroyer on LSG as Gordon hoists him up onto his shoulders. This was ridiculous, just over the top, something you would expect to see almost in pro wrestling guerrilla level spot fest, but it was what it was. And of course, I was just thoroughly entertained. I took this as this is Ring of Honor's last show. That's how I approach this mentally. So I figured everybody's just going to go for it and do every ridiculous thing. And that's exactly what I got. So I was totally happy. Would I want to watch something like this all the time? Hell no. But this being what it was, and that crowd, I think it was 1,600 people, absolutely ate this shit up. This was treated like a, you don't want to call things a funeral nowadays. They call them a celebration of life, and this was definitely a celebration of life feel on the set. That was the sentiment. Watching the show and seeing how the audience reacted to it. It's a brilliant fucking statement, and someone is free to use it. Just give me credit. Dragon Lee defeated Ray Horus in a match that I really, really liked it. When Lee hit that running knee, I was sure that was it. And somehow when Horace kicked out, I was surprised. It's really hard to surprise anybody. Yeah. Lee poured on the pain, man, hits that ripcord jumping knee and another running knee to the back of the head and finally gets the win. Eddie Edwards sends a message thanking Ring of Honor for the opportunity to show what wrestlers could do inside the ring. We would have a bunch of these from Hangman Page and CM Punk. I just thought that was a really nice touch. I saw where a bunch of WWE people as well were sort of on Twitter crediting Ring of Honor and giving their praise as well, which I thought was really classy. I thought it was classy to have Kerry Silken there at the end with Jonathan Gresham. I really like the presentation of the show. I would be lying if I said I was the world's biggest Ring of Honor fan, but I love wrestling. And certainly guys that I trained ended up being big wigs in Ring of Honor, which led to even bigger careers for them. So I always keep up with Ring of Honor. It's what I do. I keep up with fucking wrestling. And I felt not just obligated to watch this show, I couldn't wait to watch this show. And it delivered the kind of show I wanted it to be. Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Rhett Titus wins from Dalton Castle with Silas Young in the match and Joe Hendry in the match. It's Young who got pinned with that drop kick. That Rhett Titus, if you don't know, has just a killer booking drop kick and hit that thing and won. And they chanted "You deserve it" to make me remember why I hate Ring of Honor fans. Hangman Page sends a video message. He said how much he enjoyed his time at Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor allowed him to quit teaching and travel the world as a full-time wrestler, and well wishes. It's really nice. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Josh Woods against Brian Johnson. A cool little story with this, where the loudmouth challenger uses his first rope break 20 seconds into the bout, and his second 7 seconds in, and then he was out of rope breaks, and so he could not get free to an arm triangle sleeper and passed out. Really cool. Nice little story for the Pure Championship. Jimmy Jacobs is sitting in a hammock, and he does a message, and he talks about creative freedom, rabid fans. This was, AEW helping out so much with the show, and that was pretty obvious. Was sort of this was also a good fuck you to the modern WWE, I gotta say. That was definitely not overtly said, but the implication was all there, because we had a lot of people talking about creative freedom and rabid fans and how the matches were all like over the top and the guys were really free to express themselves. I mean, all of that is not so thinly veiled cover for who they're really talking about as the enemy. Shane Taylor and Kenny King. Again, not the hugest Kenny King fan. This was a great fucking match. Great fucking match. Taylor whacks him with a chair and does a package pile driver onto that chair. Then we get the CM Punk message, jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. He talks about how Ring of Honor provided an environment to learn and get paid and enjoy the business. And when he was there, it felt like lightning in a bottle. And he said, if I thought this was really, I mean, and it's indicative of how comfortable Punk is in the modern era, right? He says, if this is the end, don't be upset. Be happy that it ever happened. And that fingerprints from wrestlers from Ring of Honor are all over the business today. Absolutely the truth. Really great. Women's World Championship, Roxy retains against Willow Nightingale. I hadn't really seen Roxy before. I thought maybe she was just this overhyped thing, 19 years old. How good can she be? She's really good. And then when Deonna Purrazzo came to the ring with her AAA Women's Championship and challenges her, she says she's going to win the Knockouts Championship from Mickie James. And then she wants Roxy's belt, winner take all. And then Roxy accepts. Awesome shit. Adam Cole sends a video message. He says, I'm the wrestler I am today because of Ring of Honor, and it's because of Ring of Honor I decided to become a wrestler. Really cool stuff. Brody King, Homicide, Tony Deppen, and Rocky Romero against Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, Eli Isom, and EC3. This thing is bananas. Bananas, right? Gonzo Bomb gave the win for King. He pins Isom. But in the aftermath, EC3 cuts a promo on his teammates. Ring of Honor is a lie. There's no honor in what we do. He issues a call to arms for anyone who's interested, and they can rebuild the industry. Two goons come to the stage. Then EC3 yells to release the Titan. Braun Strowman shows up. I guess he's Adam Shear. And he clears the ring and decimates Isom with a huge choke slam. And Shear and his goons carries the guys backstage. Nuts stuff. Young Bucks have a message. They look fondly to their time in Ring of Honor and thank you for everything. Nice. The Briscoes defeat Matt Taven and Mike Bennett to win the ROH tag titles. And this is exactly what you would expect it to be. And then afterwards, FTR challenged the Briscoes and they brawl. I mean, brawl. That looked incredible. Bryan Danielson sends a video message. He was on the very first Ring of Honor show, and Final Battle holds a special place in his heart, and he thanks the company and the fans. Again, just a love fest and a celebration of Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor's life. And then Jonathan Gresham, I really do advise people to watch this match. It's incredibly good. Jonathan Gresham beats Jay Lethal to become the Ring of Honor World Champion. And it gets wins via tap out, and the locker room celebrates. They came out before the match was done and were slapping on the mat, and just a great thing overall. Really happy for Ring of Honor. If this is how they went out big, baby. And if it's not the end, then maybe they can have the right kind of show WrestleMania week and relaunch this thing. But if I had a bet, I would bet not. But if this is the last real show that they ever do, or even if it's just the last show of this era, they can be happy with what they did. And again, for AEW to kind of lend their cred to this whole thing really made the thing over the top great. It's wonderful.